outermost is mucosa. Okay, then this is submucosa. Clear? And these two
Bowel
layers
anastomosis.
are of muscularis propria. And you must be knowing that in muscularis propria there is inner circular layer and outer longitudinal layer. Clear? And this outermost is serosa. Right? 2-3 principles which we follow in bowel anastomosis. First principle, that whenever we are doing the bowel anastomosis, you have to include the submucosa. Why? Submucosa is having high collagen content. Clear? And it is the strongest layer of bowel. That's why it should always be included in the suture. So during anastomosis, you have to take the submucosa in anastomosis. One. And in bowel anastomosis, the anastomosis should be inverted to prevent the risk of leak. Clear? So 2 important principles which we follow in bowel anastomosis. First, that the edges should be inverted. So there should be inverted edges, and we have to include submucosa into anastomosis. So in anastomosis, when we suture, we have to include the submucosa because of its high collagen content, and this is the strongest layer. Now, what are the types of bowel anastomosis? It can be single layer, it can be double layer, or stapled anastomosis. Clear? So one by one, we are going to discuss. Initially, we were favoring double layer anastomosis, that is known as Cocker's 2-layer anastomosis, but nowadays single layer extramucosal anastomosis is preferred. So first, see single layer extramucosal anastomosis. Single layer extramucosal anastomosis. Clear? See the P. So this is Halsted favored, Matheson advocated. This is Halsted favored, Matheson advocated. Clear? Now see what is done here. Here you can see this is mucosa. So here the mucosa is not taken, right? And rest all the layers, submucosa, muscularis propria, serosa, all the layers are taken in one layer. So that's why this is known as single layer extramucosal anastomosis. And this question was asked in NEET PG, that nowadays which type of bowel anastomosis is preferred? Is the single layer extramucosal anastomosis. This is preferred for bowel anastomosis nowadays. It is preferred for bowel anastomosis. Here, initially we used to do Cocker's 2-layer anastomosis, but nowadays single layer extramucosal anastomosis is preferred. Now see this. This is Cocker's 2-layer anastomosis. So here it's Cocker's 2-layer anastomosis. Okay. Now see what is the first layer. If you see, this is the first layer. And what is the name of first layer? This is known as Albert layer. Initially, we were using catgut. Clear? So first layer, we were using catgut. Other name, this is Albert layer. Clear? So in this, we were using catgut continuously. So this is also known as continuous catgut layer. But nowadays, at the place of catgut, we are using vicryl. So what is the other name? This is also known as continuous catgut layer. Right? And what's the change? Nowadays, at the place of catgut, we are using vicryl. So in first layer, what we use? The vicryl. And the second layer is Lambert layer. And this is interrupted silk layer. So you can see here, this is the second layer. This is the second layer. And that is also known as Lambert layer. Lambert layer. Clear? And this is also known as interrupted silk layer. So here we are taking silk or using silk for suturing. Clear? Initially this was favored. This is Cocker's 2-layer anastomosis, but nowadays we favor single layer extramucosal anastomosis. The third type is stapled anastomosis. And for stapled anastomosis, we use 2 types of stapler usually. One is linear stapler and one is circular stapler. Okay. So see which one is linear stapler, which one is circular stapler. Now here you can see this is the linear stapler. Okay. And how we are going to use this linear stapler? So if you see this image, suppose these are the 2 ends of bowel. Okay. So I'm going to insert one limb into one part of bowel, second limb into another, and after that I'm going to fire the stapler. When I'm going to fire the stapler, what will happen? There is communication. So what happens? It is going to create the side-to-side anastomosis. Can you see? So here, this linear stapler is going to create the side-to-side anastomosis. Still, these ends are open and these ends are closed with the help of transverse stapler. Can you see? So here, these ends are being closed with transverse stapler, right? So what is the use of this linear stapler? It is used to create side-to-side anastomosis. Side-to-side anastomosis. Clear? And in this case, ends are closed by transverse stapler. Transverse stapler. Right? Now, what is the use of this circular stapler? This is circular stapler. Generally, this circular stapler is used for end-to-end anastomosis. Clear? So generally in which cases end-to-end anastomosis, especially the colorectal anastomosis, coloanal anastomosis. So whenever we are going for low anterior resection and we go for end-to-end anastomosis of bowel, we are using circular stapler. Even in stapler hemorrhoidopexy, we are using the circular stapler. So here you can see how we are using this circular stapler for end-to-end anastomosis. Okay? So circular staplers are used for end-to-end anastomosis, and generally where we are using these staplers in surgery, we are using it in low anterior resection and stapler hemorrhoidopexy. We are using it in stapler hemorrhoidopexy. Okay? So these are the stapled anastomosis. So this is all about sutures and anastomosis.